Hello, I'm Maria Smith Bohannon, and my presentation is The Significant Others, Women's Contributions to the Private Press Movement. In the early 20th century, women played essential roles in the private press movement in America by contributing skilled labor in typesetting, printing, and layout. Their work is frequently overshadowed by men whose names dominated typography and fine printing histories. Stemming from arts and crafts ideals and William Morris's Kelmscott principles, the private press movement prioritized handcraft, quality materials, and typographic beauty over the efficiency of industrialized printing, emphasizing harmonious page design and books with artistic integrity. Graphic design history has historically valued the narrative of the male design hero, obscuring the collective labor behind printed artifacts. As Aggie Toppins notes, individual creators are to no small extent historical fabrications. Although American women have participated in printmaking since the early Republic, this presentation centers on the private press movement, contributing to recent recovery scholarship, including women in letterpress printing and natural enemies of books, among others. During the movement, women faced barriers including lower wages, male-dominated networks, and access to formal training. They entered through unions or family ties, sometimes working anonymously, collaboratively, or as widows continuing their husbands' presses. Frederick and Bertha Gowdy, along with Will Ransom, founded the Village Press in 1903. Bertha emerged as a central yet understated figure, serving as the principal compositor in shaping the press's aesthetic and reputation for typographic excellence. Her intuitive sense of spacing and proportion elevated technical composition into thoughtful typographic pages, as exemplified in this example of the 1934 edition of Frankenstein, an ambitious and technically demanding project known to be her last typesetting commission. Contemporaries praised her skills. Time magazine called her the world's ablest woman printer, and Earl Emons of Maverick Press notes her achievements were of practical beauty, her art was masterly, while former colleague Will Ransom notes her rare aptitude for composition. In a 1933 exhibition of the Gowdy's work, Bertha's typesetting skills stood out in the Oath of Hippocrates print. Typographer and designer Bruce Rogers hailed it as the finest piece of printing I ever saw. Though Bertha was the head compositor at the Village Press for 3 decades, and as media quotes suggest, widely recognized as an exceptional printer, only a handful of publications credit Bertha directly. Some of these include The Alphabet, published in 1918, and Elements of Lettering in 1922. Her typesetting credits gradually moved from the book's last page, as shown in The Alphabet, to the title page in Elements of Lettering, perhaps signaling Frederick's acknowledgement of her creative contributions. Indeed, her contributions extended beyond typesetting. We know she inked at least one set of Frederick's initials and engraved the matrices for deep-D italic, indicating an intimate and creative partnership with Frederick. Frederick pens an affectionate tribute to Bertha in the 1937 publication of Bookmaking on the Distaff Side, a feminist anthology that challenged patriarchal norms in printing. Published 2 years after her death, it serves as a feminist record of women's creative labor for the period. In Memories, Bertha M. Gowdy, he praises Bertha's skills and devotion to the press, but frames her labor as supportive to his designs, consistent with early 20th century gendered norms of professional recognition. He does also note Bertha's humility and lack of desire for recognition. As Battershall notes, the critical history of women in printing is rich, but also rather diffuse, and feminist recovery efforts reveal how women's contributions in book production have been overlooked, especially because tasks such as typesetting and printing were considered less important than design and authorship. This context underpins the reassessment of creative labor efforts of figures like Bertha Gowdy. Other women in the private press movement, such as Edna Bielenson and Jane Grabhorn, veered into independent creative authorship, experimentation, and feminist expression, often using humor and gentle critique to expose male power. They expanded the possibilities of women's roles in print. Bielenson of the Peter Popper Press became the first female president of the American Institute of Graphic Arts and the first woman elected into the prestigious Grolier Club. She organized and contributed to bookmaking on the distaff side by penning a witty essay titled Men in Printing that politely exposes male power. Grabhorn's essay more overtly critiques the male-dominated print world through wit and typographic subversion. As shown on these pages, she drops hyphens and creates erratic line breaks as she leverages the press as a vehicle for satire and commentary. Taken together, the work of these women shows the private press as a collaborative material practice. Re-encountering their contributions offers a more inclusive understanding of how typesetting, printing, and shared labor helped shape American typographic and print culture. Thank you.